Hello and welcome. This is Millionaire Autobahn. My name is Martin. So this video actually has nothing to do with the Back to School series. This is about showing other traders what they're doing, the good and the bad and the ugly. And so today we're looking at a video from Ross Cameron. He's actually a very well-known day trader. He did this for the last 10-20 years. He even has a book that I actually have right here. See, Ross Cameron, How to Day Trade, The Plain Truth. And so I do respect him. He's a nice guy and everything. But he does something that a lot of day traders on YouTube actually never really say. And they never really say with how much money they're actually trading. And that kind of, if somebody says I made 10,000 today, you have to know, okay, they might have traded with $200,000, right? So those are kind of important numbers that you need to see. But in this case, actually, he had a red day, meaning he lost quite a bit of money. I think it's in the $50,000 range. It's not too bad for him because he makes on average actually about 60,000 a day plus. Which is absolutely mind-boggling, to be honest. In general, I don't think that is necessary to actually come up with these type of numbers. But nevertheless, let's look into the video and find what the issues are and how you actually can make sure you are not falling into the same trap as he did. And as always, this is just my opinion. This is no financial advice. This is just a YouTube channel to give you some hints and ideas. So let's get into it.
Well, if I could just get Caitlyn out of my head, maybe I could trade better. Okay, I hope she doesn't see this episode because I did not make her proud. Today, big red day, down $58,000. I didn't see this coming. I really didn't. Maybe I should have. I don't know. But I didn't. Unfortunately, today, we had volatility. And man, I just got on the wrong side of it. So I'm red on 3 out of the 3 stocks I traded. Hit my max loss. Account is locked. Cannot take any more trades. I'm bummed. This is not how I want.
That's actually an important thing he just says there. His account is locked because he reached his max loss. So what that is, you can set in your trading account, you can set a maximum loss for the day so that you cannot trade anymore after you reach that point. Just to make sure you're not revenge trading, you're not overdoing it, because that's usually the biggest problem. When you lose something, you might want to get it back. So so that's a good thing that he set that loss and that max loss and didn't trade any longer during that day.
To start the week. Silver lining is that this is in the context of what has been one of the best months of the year. July has been a really good month. I'm already up well over $1 million. And even after today's loss, I'm still up over $1 million. So realistically, I'm giving back, $58,000 off my peak of 1.1 million. It's less than 5%. It's tolerable in terms of percentages, but it doesn't really make it that much more fun to see, a red number the size of, a Volvo on my screen. So, all right, well, where do we begin? Let's start by just looking at the scan. So here's the crazy thing. We've got a stock right now up over 500%, vape. And this is actually a problem. And as you can see, I'm red $31,000 on it. This is very similar to VLCN from a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So vape squeezes up this morning.
So there's a point I want to make right now. So you actually, if a stock goes up 500%, something's off. So you should not actually really look at these type of stocks. You should look at stocks that maybe go up like between, I set a scanner that checks between 0 and 10%. Everything above that, to be honest, doesn't really make any sense. It's just not sustainable. 500% makes no sense whatsoever. There's no news that can be that good. So that's my personal opinion, right? I think you should not go into a stock that went up that much. It's tempting, obviously, but you shouldn't do it.
Just an unbelievable move. It goes from 10 to 40, pulls back, goes to 60, pulls back, goes to 70, pulls back, goes to 80, dips, and rips to over $170 a share. Guess what? No news. there's no news.
Yeah, that's a very important point. He just said there is no news. You have to look for news. If there is no news, don't even think trading the stock. There might have been news 2-3 days ago or something like that, but that's not enough, because those news are old already. News are just really good for the first couple of hours they're out. After that, they're toast. They're not interesting anymore. So if there's no news, it might have been insider trading or something else going on there, but that's nothing you should get into. You really just burn yourself with these type of stocks.
So it ends up coming all the way back down to 60, minutes later. And right here, boom, news comes out and I jump in. I'm so tuned to jumping in something that's moving on breaking news. But guys, this is the problem. The people that traded it here, they already knew this news was coming. And so they were selling. And so it pops up and immediately reverses. And I lost $31,000 on it. Same as VLCN.
So that's the thing you kind of got to calculate. So if he lost $31,000 and the stock price was at $60, so he actually invested into that stock about $200,000 around that number, right? So that's a huge amount of money, and most of us, I would say at least 99% of regular day traders, the you and me people, right? We don't have that money to trade that, with those kind of numbers. But it's he can do that. He has millions in his account, so that's fine. He can do that. But it is important to actually know those numbers before you actually think of going in the same direction. And there's another problem. If the stock where he went in was at, let's say, $60 and it went up to 70 and then it crashed down, if he would have gone with the 1% rule that I set for myself, he would have been actually okay. He would have gotten up from 60. You just need to go to 61, to be honest, and then you have your 1.3%, right? So that's fine. That's all you need. And but he's trading like most traders actually, day traders actually do, which I think is fatal, trying to get as much out of the stock as possible, and that can be very, very problematic, because if you don't think, oh, that's enough, you might lose, like he did, quite a bit of money. And I think that's what most day traders actually do, and that's a very important point that you need to remember, to not go into this saying I need to make more money with it. Just be okay with the 1% and you're good. He would have been good. He would have made a couple of $1,000 and that's it, and that's fine. But obviously a man of his stature that usually makes like $60,000 a day, a couple of $1,000 is definitely not enough, but it's better than losing money, right? So that's my personal opinion. Okay,
so this is insider trading. I'm almost certain of it. There were some people that knew the news was coming early this morning. This is another crypto headline, just like VLCN, and I fell for it. And I'm frustrated myself, because typically when something is popping up at the top or bottom of the hour, I expect there is news, and I skim the news. I don't read it very closely. I'm focusing so much on reading the chart and reading the level 2. But these last couple of weeks, we've had I've had 2 bigger losses as a result of a stock that was already up because people knew the news was coming. So that is definitely frustrating. But that's what happened on Vape. So you've got this stock, which is a leading gainer, but there are other people that already got, the head start on it. And so I'm trading the backside and obviously got caught. So that was on Vape. And you know what? That same thing happened on VLCN. I went red 34,000 on the day, but I was still able to recover and finish the day in the green. And so even though I was red 31,000 on this, I thought, you know what? Let's just stay focused, because we are seeing volatility. I just need to make sure I'm on the front side of the next one and not trading the backside. So CLEC, this stock pops up this morning, squeezes up right here on no news, So we get another no news move. It gets halted. Then it resumes trading, continues higher, and suddenly, sort of out of nowhere. I mean, this pop right here, I don't think anyone was expecting that it would break $32 and squeeze all the way up to $60 a share. That is unbelievable. That's an incredible move in, again, like one candle. I missed it. So here's the problem. This one has a 23 million share float. It's got a higher float. It's easy to borrow. It just, to me, didn't look like the type of stock that's going to make a big move. So I missed it. I didn't trade it. We have ATHE that pops up on the scans. It's a biotech stock with news. I jumped into that. It goes from 8 to 9 to 10, almost to 11, reverses back down. I lose $1,100 on it. Thank goodness I kept my share size small. I kept it small on that because it was lighter volume. So I was kind of testing the water.
So again, if you just go for the 1% and be happy with that, he would have made money with that stock too. You know, if it goes from 5 to 6 to 7. So when he said it went from 5 to 6 to 7, you actually only need from 5 to 5.05. So you only need to get up 5 cents in order to make your 1%. And if you get out at 6, you actually make 20%, which is, you know, awesome. So there is no need to stay in there way longer. There's absolutely no need. That's kind of the thing that a lot of day traders do. And I think, to be honest, that's wrong, especially when you look for in the long run. If you want to be consistent, what I'm always saying, what I'm teaching is be consistent. Be okay with just the 1%. Maybe it's 1.2%, maybe it's even 2% sometimes. It could be even 3%. That all depends on how fast the stock is moving. But nevertheless, be okay with that. That's all you really need, right? So, yeah, I think I feel sorry for him that he lost the money, right? But on the other hand, it's more or less a little bit of his fault too. He should have just not been too greedy, right? So we'll see what else he's doing.
Now I'm red on two stocks, ATHE and Vape. And so then I'm watching CRVO. CRVO, I was watching this, comes back up, dips down, didn't trade it, pops back up, dips down. Now we've got an inverted head and shoulders pattern right here. So as it starts to pull away, I'm like, okay, you know, on CELC, we broke out and we squeezed huge. Obviously, Vape made a big move. Now CRVO is coming back up. So I ended up adding heavy. And this was a mistake. I added 30,000 shares for the break of 15. And it goes to a high of...
So see, when he said he added 30,000 shares on a break of 15, meaning at $15, that's $450,000 he used for that trade. That's just impossible for, again, over 99% of people. And so you kind of shouldn't really listen to these type of things, to be honest. That's my personal opinion, because it's just way too out there, you know. It gives a false hope, a false idea of what day trading really is, what it could be. And I think that's just not how it works.
Of 1670, which is incredible. I was up over $1 a share. But in a matter of seconds,
See, again, he was up over $1 a share. So with $15 to $16, that's already 6%, right? So he would already be up 6% on his trade. So the amount he invested, the 450,000, 1% is 4,500, right? So he would be up already like $28,000. Get out. There's no need to make more than that. That's totally fine. But, well, you know, he didn't.
Flashes back down to a low of 1336. And by the time I was out, I was down 25,000. And with that, I said, all right, I'm done. I'm below max loss, but this is getting a little silly. This was a nice setup. I was up nicely on it. I didn't take the profit. I thought it was going to keep going. And then it does a huge jackknife. And it just was so fast. All of a sudden, I'm down 25 grand.
So the link to the full video is down below. I'm sure there's more to the story. But what I want to say, and as said, that to me is absolutely important. Don't overdo it. Don't think you need to make 5, 10, 20, 50% on a trade. That is not necessary. Not necessary. As I said many times before, pretty much in every video, I say, even if you just do the 1% rule, starting with just $5,000 to trade, you could become a trillionaire. Again, a trillionaire in like 5 to 10 years time frame, which is absolutely ludicrous, showing you how much power the 1% rule has. As I also said, you will never become a trillionaire. It's impossible, because there's at some point there's not enough stocks available for you to trade, right? So, but just giving you that information, and that should be enough. So don't overdo it. So what I do now real quick, I show you my current chart from the last 15 days or 14 days or so I was trading, so that you see what I'm doing, just to have a little bit of an idea. So just hold on a second. So so this is my chart currently that I do in Google Docs, and it just has all the information in there what I'm doing with trading. It's 12 days. I'm not actually counting like from the first month to the end of the month. I really just count days I traded. There might have been days I haven't traded. So that's kind of the idea that I'm following here. And so it's not that I make a lot of money with that. As said, I just started with it, but nevertheless, I started with 5,000, and I'm currently, after 12 days, I'm at $6,017, right? And yes, there were like $500 of losses in there that you have to subtract from it, but still, overall, I'm in the green, as they always say, right? And so what I do when I trade, I really do that. So what I do, I make one trade, I get my 1%, or I make a loss, and I turn off the computer, period. I will not go after another trade. There's no reason for it. And as you can see, the one day, the number 5 in there with the $244 loss, I did the wrong thing. I was like down $50, $60, something like that, and I did a second trade. And I lost 180 on that one. And that's something you should not do. Do one trade, that's it, period, turn it off, go to the beach, go to your kids, go to your wife, whatever you want to do, don't trade, right? That's important. You have to see this as a business, as a job. And when you work somewhere, you're not adding stuff to it for free just because, right? So that's the same thing. You're done with your trade and leave it at that. Turn off, take your mind off things, and do what you like to do. So yeah, again, don't overdo it. Keep it small. Keep it, inside that 1% or around that 1%. And I think that's really all you need. I will have more videos like this coming up, not just my regular videos. So I will have more information for you, what to do, what not to do, how to do it, and so on. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little bit of a better mind in this day trading journey. And it is possible. You have to keep in mind it is possible, right? All right, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.